Episode 4035, It Won't Last Long.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day and happy Friday. Yay! Come on, get excited about it because yes, isn't it nice to hit the weekend? Maybe you're getting a little reprieve. Maybe you're like, nope, I've got plans. It's going to be awesome. Well, today it's Confessions of an Upset Mama. It won't last long. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and to sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, just to give you a heads up, I found out that part of our feed for the podcast has not been going out to certain areas. And so if you have been missing things, welcome back. We have been working with support. We have no idea. We're doing great on our end. If you're ever wondering, she's not posting, where'd she go? Always come over to createyournow.com. You will see it there. All the episodes are there. Now, the TV show is not loaded up yet, but we're getting there. We're getting close. And then pretty soon here in, I think, in just a few weeks, we're going to have the brand new website up and running. So it'll be awesome. But I do want to apologize for that because I did not know. And so I did some research and I'm like, this is not right. Like, what happened? It just stopped at the end of March. It was like we fell off. I'm still here. So if you have been missing me for the last 17 days, welcome back. Welcome home. I never left. So you got a few days to catch up on if you have nothing else better to do. But otherwise, you're always welcome here in the family. And sometimes it just tells you that, life does get crazy. And that's fun somewhat about technology is that we can learn lots, but we can also get messed up in it. And our lives are relational. That's how God created us to be. And so thanks for giving me grace before you even knew that I was missing. And now maybe you know I'm missing, but you really weren't missing me. Well, welcome home anyway. But I think that's kind of an important thing for us to think about. Technology advances, what we're doing in our everyday lives, and what does it mean for us as parents? Because when you're raising kids, the moments can seem like an eternity, right? Those meltdowns, the temper tantrums, the whining that just won't stop. Entitlement attitudes, there seems to be a lot more of that now lately. All the things no one ever explains before you become a parent. Because if they told you all of that and you knew everything, you would not be a parent. Because it's hard, isn't it? It just is. But there you sit wondering if you'll make it through. Mama, I promise you it won't last long. And as much as we would like to bury the craziness and chaos of life, we can't forget the celebrations and comforts that come in the gap. And that's where I want you to sit today. I want you to sit in that gap. This really isn't so much about what you need to be doing for the kids, but more so what you need to be doing for yourself so you can raise great kids, good kids, awesome kids. One of my kiddos' teachers back in another state, not where we are now, and in fact, hold on, I have to think about this. I think she's retiring at the end of this year, and I think she taught all of my kiddos, actually, all 5 of them. Kind of crazy, isn't it? And then she also did theater. And shout out to Mrs. Ronka. And in that, though, 3 of my 5 really were into that. And maybe it was really I take that back. It was 4 of the 5. Because the other one was still in middle school when we moved here, and she's in high school. So she was a high school teacher, not in high school. Let me correct that. Anyway, so when you have all of that, right? And you're sitting there going, how do you do it? How do you get from one place to the next? What do you do? I want you to sit in the gap. I want you to think about maybe what you don't really want to think about. But in order to get there, you have to move from where you are in the midst of the CRAP of life, right? Your challenges, rejections, adversities, and problems. And you have to move from that point to the point of smiles and giggles, the fun stuff, The little things, the quirks, the stuff that says, and that's why I'm a mom. And you just kind of wink in your own mind and move on, right? You're like, yeah, keeping your own score just for fun. I know, I get it. It keeps your sanity. There's no problem with that. But again, we know that parenting doesn't come easy. Yet, it was never meant to be easy. Look at what God himself did for us. Sending his son, Jesus Christ, to give us life while taking his own. That's a lot to take in. And I'm not saying that you don't have to feel like you're giving up your life to raise your kids. Praise the Lord, you don't have to do that. I pray you don't ever have to do that. Unfortunately, there are some countries that you do. But when we do have our children, it's an honor to raise them. And as much as they drive you silly and then some, you get to raise these blessings and have an influence on their life like no one else. So hold on. There's still hope. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. When you're kind of caught in the craziness and the chaos, hold on. There's still hope. And you got to hold on knowing that, yeah, raising kids, it's a privilege. There are many people out there that want a family desperately. And for whatever reason, they can't, whether it's by natural birth, adoption, fostering. They get a lot of doors slammed in their face. So when you have a child, you're blessed. And I know in the moments when things are going a little bit rickety-rackety, and you're like, all the wheels are about ready to fall off. Everything's coming down on top. That's all right. It's okay. Hold on. There's still hope. Because you've got to remember that you're shaping hearts and minds. And that, my mama, is a big, big deal. And that influence is priceless. And it's going to echo for a lifetime. So when you're stuck in that hard moment, in that gap going, gosh, I just feel like a horrible mom, a horrible dad. I just don't know what to do. I'm losing myself. I'm sinking. There's no way I'm getting out of this. You're in your closet quietly crying, or you're on the toilet, tears, and you've gone through a half a roll of toilet paper. Yeah, we all can relate, can't we? Yeah. But you know what? They still find you when you're on the toilet. That never goes away, by the way. It never does. And neither do the four-legged creatures. They find you there too. But that's for another episode. But in all seriousness, right, we got to get to the heart. We can't raise great kiddos, good kiddos, if we are not taking care of ourselves. And this is not about boistering yourself up, going, oh, look at me, I'm awesome. Nope. You can feel that way whenever you want to. This is about real, tangible heart stuff that no one talks about. We just gloss over it. We think, oh, this too shall pass. No big deal. You just get over it. You break through the breakdowns. And sometimes, a few of them, you do that. And you chalk it up to, whoa, glad that was over. But then something else happens, and then something else happens, and then something else happens, to the point you're like, where's my hair color? I have none. Stress has taken over my world. Stress is my wallpaper now. There is no calm amongst the chaos. So what do? How do you hold on and know that there's still hope? Number one, pause and breathe. Something so basic but so necessary. You don't need to have all the answers in that immediate second. Give yourself permission to take a moment. Maybe you need to put yourself in timeout. Maybe you need to take a walk. Maybe you need to not have a discussion or send a text or pick up the phone immediately. Maybe you need a moment. Slow those racing thoughts. Ground yourself before responding. Calm is contagious. And if you can allow yourself to be literally flooded with calm, like what just happened? Like this rush of water comes over you, a wave like none other. And you're like, okay, I like that feeling, but I don't because I just drowned in my own calm. But now I can face what I need to face. Hold on. There's still hope. Pause and breathe. Number 2, remember the why. When frustration peaks, when you're like on the breaking point yourself, I'm not talking about the kids. The kids can be on breaking points on all different levels all the time, right? I'm talking about you. When your patience level is like you're way above it, remind yourself why you're here. Your kids need your presence more than perfection. They need you, mama. They need you to show up. They don't need you to be perfect. So if you're crying a little bit, that's okay. Show your emotions. Now, if you're going to be a blubbering fool, maybe go gather yourself and then be that half blubbering fool, right? And it just depends upon the situation. I know when we lost our puppy dog and we had to say goodbye to Rhino, it was hard. It was hard. We had him from the very, very beginning of life. We went and picked him up. He was so adorable. He was raised in the sweet couple. Basically, they were breeders, but they did a home delivery. And so they didn't do a lot because bulldogs, they can't. They're taken by C-section. So at most, you really only have 2 in the litter. And sometimes they don't all survive. But he was adorable. He was precious. And I never thought a bulldog would have this mama's heart. But he did. It was the hardest decision I ever had to make. To say, you know what, bud, you're just, it's not going to get any better. In fact, it's only getting worse. I'm pretending it's getting better. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for the kids. It's not good for my husband. What are we going to do? So we made the tough decision that it was time. Months now later, I can't say that I disagree with that decision. But how do you say, I'm glad I made it when you knew it was going to end the way it did? Right? It's hard to say. But in my logical thinking, taking out my heart, it's like, no, it was the best thing. He's not living in pain anymore. He was hurting. And bulldogs, they sleep a lot. They sleep a ton. And they're adorable. And they're chubby and chunky. And oh my goodness, he was precious. You can see him on the website. I think he's on our Let's Connect page. If you want to contact me, you go there. And I think the picture that's there of the bulldog, that's him. And I mean, he's just precious. Now, that was him full grown, by the way, not as him as a puppy. We have pictures of him with the little cowboy hat on. Oh my goodness, adorable. But I digress. We've got to understand our why. And I had to make that tough decision. I didn't want to. All of my other animals were either given away before they passed away, or unfortunately, they were killed by a car. I didn't have control over that on those situations. This one I had control over. It's only been very recently that I don't come in now from being gone going, oh, I get to see, and I don't. But it's taken months. But looking back on the moment, being there for them, being present with them, sharing my tears with my children, yeah, I know my why. And as hard as it was the right decision. And I got to teach them something very important. Mama, you get to teach them how to navigate life by how you navigate the moment that you're sitting in right now. Whatever that moment is that shows up when you just feel like that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. I can't do this anymore. No, you can, and you will. Remember the why. And then finally, number 3, choose grace over grit. You know, sometimes firmness is necessary. I believe in it. You got to be firm. You got to have that tone. But sometimes gentle love is the better path. You need both. So meet your child where they are, regardless of their age, not where you want them to be. Right? You're not just going to drag them to the tippy top of the mountain. You want them to get there on their own accord. And let me tell you, grace opens doors that grit can't. So choose grace over grit. I don't know where you are right now as a mama. Maybe you're kind of questioning a few things going, oh, Christiane, I can't get through this. I don't know. I've got some good friends going through a divorce, a few of them. I've got friends who have lost a child. I have friends who have buried a child. I have friends who are just struggling because their kids are just challenging them on all levels. Some of them are homeschooling parents. Some of them are traditional. Some of them are private school attendees. That's where their kiddos go. So you can sit here and say, well, maybe it's this. Maybe it's just the parents. Maybe it's just life. And you get to be in the middle of it. You get to be the compass for them. You get to help keep their heart beating when they are falling apart. And I promise, Mom, you can hold it together. You can. God's got you in the middle of everything. He does. And I promise you, it won't last long. And then you'll be sitting there wishing you would have had a few of this craziness and chaos back again, just so you could feel alive. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.